What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. And today we had a new JJK chapter 154, and it's called Infiltration. We got some mention and build up on a small reveal in this chapter. We got some stuff to talk about regarding Kirara, and the biggest takeaway of this chapter being Megumi and Panda, they might be a god tier duo. I'm not gonna hold you. They was kind of clean in this chapter. But without further ado, let's get into the video. So the chapter opens up, we got Megumi and Panda linking up to infiltrate Hikari's base. And Panda says he's been unable to reach Hikari possibly because of Kirara's curse technique. And it's like a force field, very similar to how he describes as Gojo's infinity. So whenever he tries to get to the door, he's pretty much being stopped right there. In the midst of that description of Panda talking about Kirara's technique, Megumi asks Kirara, is that the other third year student, and isn't that a man? And Panda says, yes, that's a man. Or yes, a man. And I'm gonna talk about that in a minute because that's a whole nother situation. So let me go ahead and get up into this other stuff first. Panda thanks Yuji and Megumi for coming because he ended up becoming a crowd pleaser for the gambling matches because he couldn't reach Kirara or Hikari, and he kind of gave up for a certain amount of time. Panda and Megumi iron out the possibilities of Yuji and Hikari's interactions, and Panda says Yuji is cheerful and he's a smooth talking guy that could possibly match up with Hikari. But sadly, he's not one for lying, and Megumi says the worst case scenario is that he gets caught and everything goes downhill by Hikari either just throwing him out or he gets his goons and he takes care of Yuji. Panda tells Megumi of the best possible ways to infiltrate because he knows of the camera blind spots that are in the infrastructure, and Panda says he will be in the parking lot and Megumi will infiltrate another way, in another direction so they can get to Hikari, and they set off and go ahead and do that. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get this out of the way right now about the Kirara stuff. I don't really know exactly if this is completely 100%, obviously, because we have to wait for the official translations. But if it turns out that she is like a transgender or whatever, I don't really care. The only thing I cared about was that she's linked with Hikari, who's he might be top 5 by the end of the series in terms of like my character list. So this might take some points away if he's attracted to Kirara, who turns out to be on that other side of the fence. So this is crucial for me as an Hikari fan right now. So but other than that, if this is like regular, like she was just not acquainted with Hikari right now, I wouldn't really care, because we've seen stuff like this in anime and manga. They've done stuff like this. They've done the trap stuff. I mean, it's in Chainsaw Man. Granted, it's like different, but like it's in like big series like Chainsaw Man and stuff. So this doesn't really bother me like that, but it only really bothers me if she or he is attracted and Hikari is attracted with Kirara. That's all that matters. So at the end of the day, I could care less. Just try to keep Hikari as cool and badass as possible. That's all I ask. Panda and Megumi are infiltrating the hideout that Hikari's at, and it is official that Megumi can actually hide in people's shadows. He proceeds to choke out 2 guards. And I just want to say, like, Megumi's versatility now, it was always high, but now that he can like go into other people's shadows, attack them while they're off guard, I mean, it's just the 10 shadows technique and how Megumi uses it is just so cool to me. I'm really looking forward to future Megumi big battles because he's just got so many layers to him now, man. Like he can just do so much, and it's cool seeing his development in terms of power as well. It's one of the best things in JJK right now, and I'm just loving that aspect. And Panda does his job as he does like a funny, I guess, regular or fake Panda impression. And he knocks out 2 guards and he takes their fish sausages as he happily runs away and goes up and meets Megumi on the roof. And while they're on the roof, they realize that Kirara is right under them, which surprises them because they thought she was with Hikari, but she was actually with Itadori, showing him where Hikari is at on the roof. And Yuji says Kirara looks happy, and Kirara says, I guess so, and that she loves the fired up Kenji, which we've heard something like this before, because remember Yuta, before they set out to do their little side missions, Yuta did say that Hikari, when he's on a roll or fired up, he's incredibly strong. So this is the second time we've heard a different character say this. So this is just hyping me up more to see what exactly Hikari is capable of in terms of fighting in battle, and what exactly his curse technique is, and when they say fired up on a roll. It's really good build up for the Hikari fight stuff later on. So I'm hyped for that. But we're back to the roof stuff, and Kirara remembers Megumi by the way he looked and the fact that he was walking with Yuji. So she puts two and two together that since Yuji is a high schooler and Megumi's with Panda's from Jujutsu High, so she pretty much knows that, okay, Megumi is from Jujutsu High, so she has to go on Hikari, which leads to be pretty much seeing that Karara is pretty intelligent for her own right. And upon this, Megumi summons Divine Dog or Demon Dog, but it gets repelled right back to Megumi as if the dog just couldn't get close to her. And Karara says that she marked both them and the dog, which I think she's able to mark them because she has the starlight pupils in her eyes. So I'm guessing that maybe if she just looks at them, she can mark them, which if that's the case, I mean, that is incredibly powerful, because if she could just look at someone and she could do that, her whole, I'm gonna guess, magnetism or some sort of like laws of physics ability, that she's pretty strong for her own right. Although I don't think she's going to be strong physically at all, because I mean, her ability is all about keeping people away from her. So I don't think she probably trained in that aspect of physical fighting, but her ability alone is really, really strong. Kirara runs to the door and she's trying to alert Hikari, which Panda is trying to tell her that they aren't her enemies. They're just trying to talk to Hikari about some stuff. But the Divine Dog blocks the door. But then Megumi gets pulled into the Divine Dog and he says, I can't get to Kirara, but I also have to stay near the Divine Dog. Which is interesting because that just is so many layers to this technique. But it sucks because we didn't get any of the like description of like the inner working of the technique. That wasn't explained at all in this chapter, which I'm gonna talk about that later in the post chapter stuff. But man, it's like I could definitely see why Panda said this is a troublesome technique to deal with. And the chapter ends with Hikari talking to Itadori, saying, you could get a monthly income of 1 million yen by working 1 hour a day. Would you believe me if I told you that? Which Yuji just replies very confused with the good old Like I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think Itadori understands anything when it comes to business talk. So whatever Hikari about to say, I'm pretty sure Itadori is just gonna be like, all right, I don't know what you're talking about, but can you just help us with this culling game real quick? You know what I'm saying? So that was the end of the chapter, and that was the end of JJK 154. I gotta say, this is a pretty cool chapter. Mainly this is hyping up 155. I feel like 153 and 154 are definitely build up chapters for the next one, which I think we're on break next week. I'm not sure because of the Olympics. I'll double check, but definitely very cool, very good chapter. Interesting the stuff we got with Karara. I'm looking forward to this Itadori and Hikari interaction. And hopefully next chapter we get some info on Karara's ability, because if we can get like a good description of what exactly it is, because it looks like she can tag two people and then she can pull them together whenever she wants, but at the same time she can repel people that get too close to a certain area or from her. So I don't know the lengths of that ability yet or anything of that, but it seems really, really crucial for like a support technique for like other people. So man, her technique might definitely be up there in terms of like strength. But overall, can't wait for next chapter. Hopefully we get some more Hikari talking, because I mean, I'm just gonna be honest with you, I am very, very hyped for Hikari. Anytime they show him or allude to what he's about to do. Same thing for Yuji, Megumi, Panda. This whole thing, I'm really just entertained, intrigued by what's going on. So yeah, if you enjoy this video, this format, I'm trying not to, do a whole bunch of like reading the chapter, word for word. I'm trying to do a little different style. So let me know in the comments how you feel about that. Also leave me a like if you enjoyed the video, and of course subscribe if you want more JJK content coming soon. And with that, I'll holler at y'all on the next one. Peace.